This is a presentation of SimWorld Sports.
And gentlemen, welcome to the nightcap of your Friday SimWorld High School Hoops festivities, the national tournament. It has been a wild day. We have one last game, Pacific Northwest taking on Donald Affetti and Midwest here in Houston. You've already seen Jameson Johnson sent packing. You've already seen Johnny Baldwin go home. We almost saw New York chased off the court by a Cinderella Seattle team in our third game. Now we have a great matchup, two good teams, Midwest, 2 titles under the belt, Pacific Northwest, just fresh off winning the West Region title. There you see the starting lineups, the lineup in the booth for your last game of the evening. My own self, E-Lava, joined by Big Bob, Jabbar Wilson, see him out there doing his push-ups for Midwest, and we are underway.
You don't want to do too many of them before the game. I know if that was me, I'd already be done.
Have to sub you out already. How about?
Give me the oxygen tank. Oh, a little. Trying to get fancy early. Don't want to do that.
Well, Pacific Northwest, of course, led by Cody Johnson, the big man, 7-footer. He had 27-9 when these teams met up earlier this year in a 4-point Pacific Northwest victory.
I would like to point out that I think I'm going to have a seizure with this scoreboard. We got Northwest select, Midwest select. I don't know. I can't deal with this right now. Can we?
I'll try to keep it clear for you and for our viewers, Bob. But that is Pacific Northwest on the board and ahead 2-0 to start the action here.
Oh, good offensive rebound. Wasn't expecting to come up with that. Terrible shot selection to follow up with it, though.
A little aggressive on the putback there.
Big three.
Big three. 5-0.
Had to be
Northwest. Pacific Northwest just 9-9 on the year, but as mentioned, they won the West Regional, so they've got some momentum. They've been playing good of late. Cody Johnson and DJ Childs, we also got to talk about him, Bob. He is the other half of the dynamic inside-outside duo for Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, you always got to bring up Childs, but I'm always biased against the bigs, and Cody Johnson is the heart and soul of this team, in my opinion, even though it might really be Childs.
Well, Cody misses there. Cody Johnson going to the G League. He'll be there with Che King, Jeremiah Minor, and others next season.
Jai Edge,
who we just saw, an important part of a New York rally. Saw them come from 7 down late in the fourth quarter to win.
Yeah, that was
Seattle.
That was a very gutsy effort by them. Obviously, you got to give a shout out to Seattle for even being where they were, because I always want to say 0%, but again, I will bring up I did have them win the first game of the tournament. So, other than me, nobody had faith in them to be there. But that Cinderella was going to end very soon after that when we knew they were going up against New York.
They gave New York a real test tonight. On that last possession, that was Donald Affetti attacking the basket, but he couldn't get anything done. Pacific Northwest playing well to start the game. Benjamin Nicholson's going to try a jumper. Can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound. Ends up in Midwest hands.
So for you, obviously, Pacific Northwest, they're out to a little 5-point lead, but
That's an aggressive, at best, shot from Donald Affetti there. He can connect from outside, but that was deep, that was early, and his feet weren't particularly set.
So I was going to ask, who do you think is the key to a Midwest victory? Or what is the key to a Midwest victory?
Well, I really think the key tonight is that, I alluded to it earlier, Cody Johnson taking the jumper there and draining it. He's got a couple already. He's a beast, right? He got 27-9 in a game where the winning team scored 68 points in their first matchup. And I think Shia Winterton, the 6'8" junior out of Gary, Indiana, Gary Roosevelt High School, he is going to, nobody's going to shut down Cody Johnson. But if he can contain him, he better. They only lost by 4 to these guys earlier this year.
Oh, tough shot.
That could be the difference, and that is a nice shot there. Draw the lead back down to 5. So I'm really watching that battle underneath tonight. Shia Winterton, number 22, in red. what he can do with Cody Johnson, and there's a turnover trying to force it inside.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's not even a starter for me that I think needs to really step up for Midwest, and it's Brian Webb. I think Brian Webb, I say he needs to step up. He steps up, but I think he needs to be the factor for Midwest today in order for them to pull out a win. But just the Cody Johnson and the DJ Childs combination is just not one that you can. I can't bet against them.
Well, the drive there wouldn't go for Xavier Young. He will go to the foul line. Nice interior passing between Childs and CJ to get the ball in Young's hands in good position. He's not much of a scorer for this Pacific Northwest squad. Averages just 3.2 points a game, but does pull down 7.6 rebounds and blocks 1 shot a game on average. See what he can do here. Good free throw shooter, Xavier Young.
He was a player that I expected a lot more from coming into the season. Him and Kevin Falcone. I expected, especially, I mean, with the last name like Falcone, I mean, I assumed that there were some strings somewhere that were pulled to.
Well, Kevin and Xavier both going to Gonzaga next year. 6'8" and 6'9". Xavier the slightly taller of the two, but you're right, 2 talented bigs who statistically definitely faded a little bit for Pacific Northwest after some decent start to the year. Xavier Young was actually fairly highly ranked at one point this season. Still is pulling down 7.6 rebounds for this team, as I mentioned, though, and gets the 2 free throws there. 7-point lead, Pacific Northwest early in this one.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Coach J6 can make any changes to. Oh, good gosh. Good offensive rebound. Oh, but a steal.
Brian Webb in the game couldn't get his first shot down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh man, I just had what is today? What's the meaning of life? I forgot what I was gonna say. I completely went blank. What is J6 gonna do? Period.
There we go.
Big 3.
Or a question of what is Finn Hayes going to do? Finn Hayes, Pacific Northwest coach, has his side out to a double-digit lead early. Just 4 points for Midwest. 2.5 minutes to go, first quarter.
They needed that.
Well, that will help.
Needed it.
Midwest, good 3-point shooting team on the air. They're 13-9 overall coming into this one, too. A little jumper won't go. Rebound. Comes down in Scoochie Nelson's hands.
Scoochie Boochie.
Scoochie, 6'5" senior out of Iowa City. Oh, and he's going to drive right to the rack and get it to go.
Good hard drive.
Scoochie Nelson just averaging 3.1 points per game, but as we were talking about pregame, Bob, I've noticed him when I've covered Midwest games. He's a good player. He plays within himself, and he can do what you just saw there.
You know, he might not be. He's not. Oh, good steal.
Oh, great steal.
But the speed to get back.
Free opportunity. Oh,
can't. That speed to get back on defense. Still had a wide open shot on the left side, but to cut off that lane, the straight line lane to the basket. Well, I mean, it's hard. You were saying that you always notice Scoochie. It's kind of hard not to with that name. I was going to say he's not. Oh, another steal. I'm just going to stop talking because every time I talk, there's a steal and it interrupts me. We have to get excited.
Brian Webb out there, and he is not shy to shoot, and he gets one to go. First made bucket Brian Webb, and this lead, which had been 10 just a moment ago, 8-0 run for Midwest, and with a little bit more than a minute to play in the first quarter, they've cut this back to a 1-possession game. Well, Bob, while we got a little bit of a break here, and the coaches are talking things over, what was the most surprising result today for you? Miami advancing? JJ going out, New England out. I mean, there was a lot that kind of happened today. If you had to pick the biggest sort of surprise, at least, if somebody would have told you right now this is what happened today, what would be top of your list?
I think the biggest surprise is always going to be Washington leaving early. I will never be surprised. Unfortunately, although Jameson Johnson is the number two player in the country, he can't do it alone. It's really hard for a player to do it alone. Cooper Kinsey Cross has obviously done it all year. but he's had some role players here and there. At the end of the season,
Cooper Kingy Cross had 35 today. He showed up, but just not enough.
It's just not enough. And like with Jameson Johnson, at the end of the year, some of his guys around him, Eric Dillard, they started to show up a little bit, but it's just hard for a one-man team to go far, and we've seen that today. So that's not a surprise. Again, Washington. Cooper Kingy Cross, you can't bet against him because he takes the game over. If he scored 40 points, they probably would have won. But
true. Well, 4 points now for Brian Webb. Cuts the lead back down to 3. We're under a minute to go here. Opening frame. SimWorld National Tournament, second round action, Pacific Northwest and Midwest. And Falcone, excuse me.
Yeah, get it. Yeah,
I know. Don't let me slide. Ooh. 3-point attempt from Ricky Garland, rattled around but wouldn't go through. Midwest has their big 7-footer in the game now off the bench. Anthony Wilson, but just stepped out of bounds there. Adonal Adams, reserve also in from St. Paul, Minnesota, the 6'4" wing.
We need to have a real heart-to-heart with these SimWorld kids because we have a lot of uncoordinated kids. The amount of kids that step out of bounds for no reason.
Where you really see it, and you saw it with Mid-Atlantic today. A couple 3-pointers late in that game, or what should have been 3-pointers, but foot on the line. Randy Orton buried 2 long shots, 4 points. If those would have been 6 points, if he would have moved that foot back a couple inches on both those shots, Jameson Johnson might still be in this tournament.
Yeah, and the same can be said about the New York-Seattle game. Noah Jackson had a couple of big shots at the end of the game, but 4 points instead of 6, and that's big. It doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot, but at the end of a game,
definitely massive. Well, we're far from over in this one. End of the quarter, though. 3.6 remaining is Jabbar Wilson. University of Kansas bound, checks back in for a little bit more height in case Falcone can't put it through, but he does. And a low-scoring first quarter. Going to come to an end here. Pacific Northwest out in front by 5. Quick commercial break. We're going to return here on SimWorld TV to Houston after these messages. And we are back in Houston, the site of much drama today. Chance for one more chapter. Pacific Northwest and Midwest going to battle here in a pretty tight defensive first 8 minutes. Pacific Northwest and Finn Hayes pretty happy with the outcome, on top by 5 with the ball here. Jabbar Wilson.
I don't know what he's doing with the ball, though.
It looked like he wanted to go to work, but I don't know. Indecisive.
That was a nice, tough drive.
Great drive. It's the lead down to 3. Brian Webb still out on the court. Midwest.
Yeah, I can understand. Good rebound.
Great rebound.
I can understand. Yeah, I can understand why Webb doesn't start, but at the same time, I feel like you have to find a way to get him on the court more.
Well, he couldn't get that 3 to go, but a nice rebound and pass from Anthony Wilson, 7 foot, 240-pound senior from Madison, Wisconsin.
240.
Kansas State, yeah, big boy, but nice hands right there. He had a nice pass, nice defense there from Midwest, and they can take the lead on this possession. Scoochie Nelson still out there on the court.
I had Anthony Wilson in, like, I don't know, 8th grade. 240 senior. Get out of here with that. My left leg was 240 when I was a senior.
Big Bob for a reason, folks. And Midwest, 13-9, and 2 titles under their belt for a reason too. After a slow start, they were down by 10 points early on. And rallied all the way back to take the lead, and it's been the bench mob for Midwest too, led by Brian Webb, 13th ranked junior. 6'2" out of Dayton, Ohio, and yeah, he averages an impressive 13.6. Third on the team, but not far behind Donald Effetti's 15.8 and Lorenzo Robinson's 14.4.
And you mentioned with Midwest let me jump to Pacific Northwest. Pacific Northwest, outside of DJ Childs and Cody Johnson, there's really nothing there. So Midwest really can, when the bench comes on, when you got to give your stars a rest, Midwest definitely has the advantage there.
Yep. Pacific Northwest reserves, who have emerged in some games. We've seen some nice play on occasion from Derek James, a 6'4" wing out of Redding, California. Averaging just 3.3, similar for Kevin Falcone in off the bench, who we saw earlier, 5.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, but definitely not as much lift off the bench in Pacific Northwest as Midwest gets. And we've kind of seen that play out already in the flow of this game, but Cody Johnson back up there now, and that's a very athletic move, but he can't get the bucket to go.
Yeah, for them to get back into this game again, it has to be, in my opinion, the Cody Johnson show. It has to be. Just feed him the ball. He has to get going underneath. If he doesn't get going underneath, Midwest is going to pull away from this.
Well, Cody averaging a healthy 16.9 and 9.3 rebounds, shooting 67%. The All-American having a great year, but called for the foul there on Jabbar Wilson, and the Midwest captain steps to the line. He is a deadly free throw shooter, 90% in SimWorld play.
I would like to know do we have anybody that checks birth certificates, social security cards, anything? I really would love to know. I don't think so. I mean, this man has a full goatee and everything. I don't think anybody that I graduated with had a goatee, mustache, beard.
You just did call the New York-Seattle game, and, you know, I have heard joking rumors that Chance Milton-Jones may be eligible to run for Senate anytime now. But, there's a nice pass and a vicious dunk from the big man, Cody Johnson, Twin Falls, Idaho. A 28.17 rebound game last year as a junior, and has had some impressive performances this year as well, looking for a couple more here in the national tournament.
You see that sneaky defense? He was over there laying down out of bounds next to the SimWorld. He jumped back up real quick.
Three-pointer won't go on that end. Midwest back up, and Donald Effetti with it. He gives it up. Jabbar Wilson, looking like he wants to back his defender down. Does, but can't get the shot to go. Oh. Some open shots being missed.
Ooh,
as we all
man,
see,
that
including
is-
what Nicholson just threw up right there. But tight defense from both these squads, too, so far. I mean, look at this. Midwest contesting under the rim.
For whatever reason, when you have Cody Johnson under the rim, you just need to give him the ball. Nobody else should be taking it up underneath but Cody Johnson.
Well, Fetty has it now for Midwest. Shot clock running down. Nice drive from Fetty, but once again, the shot bounces harmlessly off the rim. Cody Johnson with a ton of rebounds. We got to check that total. Oh, but look at this.
Ew.
The quick hands and the quick feet of Jabbar Wilson. Nice pass. 3 on the way.
No good.
Won't go.
No, you
I
got
was
it.
really getting a good build-up, too, there, vocally. They let me down.
You gotta hate it. You're ready for it. You're getting ready to get excited, and then
Oh, man.
it's a little fart.
Yep. Sad trombone music instead. Womp, womp, womp. Well, there's a nice drive and score. High off the rim.
Pacific Northwest taking the lead after not having it for a while.
That was DJ Childs getting inside and scoring. Relatively quiet game so far for DJ, but with his bucket, Pacific Northwest back out on top by 1 point. Low-scoring 22-21 battle. While there's a break in the game action, we're going to take a break as well, but come right back. 4 minutes to go in the first half when we return to Houston. All right, and we're back. Midwest ball down by 1. 4 minutes to play in the second quarter.
You know, it's always interesting to me. I want to know where they get these kids to dance during the little breaks, because I know they have way better moves than I've ever had, and they are. It's interesting. It's just interesting, you know.
It is. Ooh, nice steal. Once again, many steals tonight for Midwest. Carlisle's kept them in this game, gotten them back into it, and they're back in front right now.
Yeah, and that's actually been a
Steal
theme.
conversion.
That's been a theme throughout a few of the games tonight. I know, I can't remember who it was, but in the New York game, I think at halftime or maybe in the third, one of the kids had 4 steals already.
Yeah, well, defensive intensity getting turned up here. The penultimate
Another
turnover of the
steal.
season, and look at that. Midwest. Thievery, but Cody Johnson returns the favor.
You don't want to do that with
that
a
alley-oop.
Can't do that against a 7-footer.
And DJ Childs drives inside. Billings, Montana product. DJ Childs, 19.6 points per game. DJ going to Alabama. And Quincy Henderson there. Oh, and look at DJ. He gets in on the steal fest and converts as well. Makes Lorenzo Robinson look bad there.
You're our what's the word? You're our local historian, I guess you can say. You know a little bit about a lot of it. What other than DJ Childs, what else has come out of Billings, Montana?
Billings, Montana. Well, you might stop me if I were forced to specifically try to answer that question, because come to Billings, I'm having a hard time thinking of somebody or something specifically.
How about just Montana?
Montana, of course, Big Sky Country.
Population 7?
Does Joe Montana count?
Sure. Hey, make it work however you can. Fake it till you make it.
That's right. Well,
I'm pretty sure they named Montana after Joe Montana. You don't have to look it up, it's a fact.
well, Pacific Pacific Northwest up on front in this one by 1 right now. We're going to take another quick break. Quick one, but we'll be right back here in Houston.
Again on the track.
And we're back. 2:14 remaining in this first half. Low scoring defensive battle, but an entertaining one, much like we've had all day here on SimWorld TV. Hope you've enjoyed these 4 live coverage games, and we also had our 4 live feed broadcasts. We're coming back to you on Monday, round 3 action, and then the semifinals and championship game later in the week.
Another tough drive. Couldn't finish though.
Another tough drive, and gotta say, Anthony Wilson's made his presence felt inside for Midwest. Good guy playing well. Scoochie Nelson back in the backcourt with Brian Webb, and Webb attacking. That's what he does.
Nice drive.
Webb, he does have an outside shot. He hasn't shot well in SimWorld play this season. But he has a kind of fascinating game to watch. He just somehow finds lanes, creates lanes, gets to the hoop, and when he does, he's just deadly. Hanging in the air, twisting, kind of awkward angle, getting shots off and converting them.
Yeah.
Scoochie Nelson fouls down at this end, and that's going to send Kenny May to the line for Pacific Northwest. I'm sorry, Ricky Garland to the line for Pacific Northwest.
Ricky.
Reserve guard. Averages just 2 points and 1.4 assists per game in limited minutes, but chance to put some points on the board in an important tournament game here for Pacific Northwest.
I feel like this is one of those times where I can't say anything now because it's a tie game, but in my opinion, when you're going up against a 7-footer, I know that Anthony Wilson hasn't done a whole lot for you this year. Sometimes you have to match size with size. You just have to. But tie game, it doesn't really matter right now. But the physicality that Cody Johnson can bring, that's going to wear down some littler defenders.
Second free throw is up on the way, and it's good. And in a seesaw game, Pacific Northwest peeks back over with a 1-point lead.
But you were raving a little bit there about Webb. I'm going to be real interested to see what he does next year when Affetti's gone.
Oof, 3 would have been.
When he can be the
big
focus, when he can be the focus of the offense, I think we're going to see he has potential to be top 3 player in the country next year because it's going to be all about him.
Already ranked number 13 in the class, Brian Webb with the ball right now. Attacking the basket and a hard foul. DJ Childs, just his first. Looks like they might have had a little bit to say to each other there, but not going to come to anything more than that other than Brian Webb going to the line. Well, for Midwest, they're going to return 3 pieces. They're going to have 3 nice juniors coming back next year, certainly led by Brian Webb, but Shia Winterton, 6'8" big man, 24th ranked in the junior class as a senior, as Webb makes the first. Should be interesting to watch Winterton develop too. And also Caden Randolph, reserve this year, 6'3" wing out of Naperville, Illinois. Only averaging 3.3 points and 2 rebounds, but Randolph's an Illinois Mr. Basketball, regarded as a team leader even coming off the bench, and actually as a sophomore put up a 33-point, 11-rebound game, so clearly there's potential there. Maybe he just needs more time on the court, but for Midwest Select, nice year this year, but reason to think they should be in the mix next season as well.
You know, for some of these kids, kind of how I brought up earlier about whether or not there's anybody in SimWorld checking these kids' birth certificates, I do wonder if anybody's checking these kids' alleged big games that they had the year prior to SimWorld, because I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Jump ball forced right there. Childs and Nelson going to tangle for it, and it ends up Pacific Northwest. And at the buzzer, I don't know if that got off, but it's not going to matter.
Playing around too much.
Well, final seconds now. First half.
Good move. Good drive.
Nice drive and better finish.
What a dub.
Our first dunk call in this game of the night. Let's see what DJ Childs here can do.
He's going to dance around for 6 seconds.
Well, it's DJ Childs. That might be a good offensive play for them. Can't get it to go, however. Xavier Young pulls down the rebound, and that's going to end festivities for the opening 16 minutes. But come right back, folks. After a quick halftime break, we got the second half coming up.
Again on the track.
All right. Ball game back underway here in Houston, and it's a battle. Pacific Northwest trailing by 1. Midwest has the ball. Ryan Webb sitting on the bench right now, which is where he comes from, but he's leading all scorers with 10. And here comes a Fetty on the drive, and he gives it up to Wilson, who threw it back out for reasons that escape me. 3-pointer.
Oh. Flop. 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 Call the police. Call the flop, please.
The shot's going to count. The shot's going to count, but foul on Shia Winterton. His first.
I'm sorry. Shia Winterton is not knocking over Cody Johnson like that. No, nice drive.
Great drive from DJ Childs. He's hasn't been explosive tonight, but he's been efficient. 8 points, 4 for 4 shooting.
Yeah, you know, that's something that I struggle with a little bit with. Oh.
Yeah. Well, that's a good shot there, by the way. Jabbar Wilson can hit that.
Something I struggle with these star players is, do we... I said it before, it's a lose-lose situation for them. Do we want them to be conservative, take a couple shots, make most of their shots, or do we want them like being aggressive? They're gonna take some bad shots. You know, I'm kind of
Cody Johnson, a little too aggressive perhaps, an off back iron.
It's like
that followed a tough Donald Affetti shot, by the way. So your dilemma was visually being played out as you spoke it.
It's just we want it all, and we're never going to get it all. But I still want it all.
Yeah, well, the reason you're not going to get it tonight, I think, is both these teams are playing pretty good defense out here.
Oh, yeah,
Even
absolutely.
if there are some ill-advised shots, it's because lots of open looks aren't happening. There was a rare one that Benjamin Nicholson just couldn't put down for Pacific Northwest. Opportunity here for Midwest to extend the lead a little bit. They've never led by much in this game. Oh,
No, I
Lorenzo
think
Robinson. Just too quick there.
maybe this might be this is their biggest lead of the game. I don't know if they've really. I don't think they've ever really let it get past 2 or 4 until now.
Nice pass, Benjamin Nicholson.
Very good pass.
Nice finish. DJ gets it done. 10 points now, DJ Childs. And Midwest beating by 2, but wants to talk things over. 5:31 remaining, third quarter. Well, I want to thank everybody for being with us again. Remind you all that on Monday we're picking action back up. It's going to be round 3 of the SimWorld National Tournament. Already seen some surprises like Miami being there. I don't think a lot of people had them in their bracket, but they are 1 win away from the Final Four. As is New York, able to overcome a feisty, surprising Cinderella Seattle squad today, 78-71, but they were trailing 67-60 late in the fourth quarter in that game. Before Che King came in back in the game after getting a rest and really ignited the New York rally that sees them also 1 step away from the Final Four appearance. But the big headlines: JJ and Johnny Ballgame, their season is over.
Well, let me ask you, since all but one of the games have been determined, if you had to pick right now, it's not a hard choice. We'll go through them all. New York or Miami?
I mean, look, actually, I will say that I'm impressed with what I've seen from Miami the past couple games. Jeremiah Minor is just a reptile. That kid is cold-blooded. He's not afraid. And I don't think they're going to be afraid of New York, and I think that's going to be a good game. I got to pick New York.
Great try by Childs. All of a sudden,
like
12 points.
Yeah. I was wrong. He has missed tonight, but 75% from the field. You can see he is efficiently getting it done, too. But all right, let's go through the rest. I got New York there.
Well, so we got New York, then we got Charlotte versus another team. I forgot. Let me tell you. I forgot I edited my bracket because I was sad. Cut off the original games. Cut off some of the initial upsets.
Ripped it all up. Well,
So I guess really the only. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, these last couple possessions, it's been DJ and CJ pulling Pacific Northwest back in.
Ooh, wow. Oh, my God.
Arnold Fetty.
That's going to be on
And
Sports
Johnny
Center.
Baldwin, who I got to watch earlier today. The two of them are just athletically beyond compare at this level. Things they can do. Maybe Quincy Henderson and Southeast Select could be in that group too, but boy. Strong attack there from Cody Johnson, but he can't get the shot to fall. It's not coming easy for Cody tonight.
No, it's not. So, iffy shot there. Oh, good offensive rebound though, but a nice block. Yeah. But another, they keep getting the ball back.
Right now, Midwest. And Lorenzo Robinson.
All that effort.
4 attempts.
Nothing. All that effort for nothing. Well, jump back because let's jump back because I got it all figured out for you.
Okay.
Chicago or Charlotte.
Remember,
hold on. Let me fit. Coach of the Year led Charlotte versus Chicago. Does that change your mind at all?
No, it doesn't. I really like what I'm seeing from Drake Harvell and Gerald Carroll right now. And Ian Krimmer, he was enough of a presence today to get the win against another talented big. And I think he's going to be a problem for that Charlotte lineup. Nathan Zaraway down in the post, giving up a lot of size to him. And no, I got Chicago there. I'm sticking with my Chicago pick.
And then last one, we got Southeast West Coast.
That is the one I'm kind of most looking forward to. Going to be contrasting styles in that somewhat. Going to be a battle. Going to be fun watching Trey Turner and Lace Darius Outlaw try to, on the court, settle who is the best junior in the nation. And I think they both argue it's one of those two. Aiden Ship might say otherwise, and Lorenzo Phenom might not even be too happy about it, but they're not here. They're no longer in the game. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm picking Southeast. I think it'll be close, but I think Southeast is just on such a tear. They're on such a roll right now. And defensively, you know, I am very impressed with them. I'm trying to think of a kind of a comparison. Actually, the comparison that comes to mind is the Detroit Stars. Now, I know they already got knocked out of the tournament here. They're a good defensive team. And I think Southeast just almost like is a better version of Detroit, really. You know, they disrupt passing lanes. They don't let teams do what they want to do. They will get you down in the shot clock, force you to take bad shots. And that's why they're on like a ridiculous 11-1 run or whatever it is. Yep, a little sloppy there from Midwest. Haven't really seen that much tonight, but Jabbar Wilson got a foot wrong on that one.
Which one of these teams do you think matches up better for Houston? Well, let me see. Which one of these teams do you think has a better chance of beating Houston?
I think they would both be favored over Houston in the next round. But I again kind of think that Cody Johnson could cause a team like Houston problems in a way that, you know, this Midwest team is deep, and they're obviously not out of this one. They're trailing by 2 right now. Tons of time left. Cody Johnson with a foul. It's going to send Brian Webb to the line. But, you know, I think Cody is just, you know, there's only a handful of players like him. And while this Pacific Northwest team is not deep, he and DJ Childs have such a good connection, and they're such good, solid players. I think they would cause them more problems than Midwest. In some ways, I think Midwest is similar to Houston. You know, arguably just a little bit better, basically.
Yeah, I think, personally, I would like to see Pacific Northwest against Houston. But it is more along the lines of, I think that's a more even game. You got A-star guard, you got A-star big, and then you got just a bunch of guys trying to find their role. DJ Childs, Tristan Holmes, Cody Johnson, Carl Holmes. And then I know our producer Ron Yell fell in love with JJ Ruff in that last game. Almost hit a triple-double.
Couldn't hit a shot, but had a great game in spite of that,
yeah.
Which happens.
But yeah, I think that would be a very interesting matchup, and it's really hard for me to go against Carl Holmes, though.
Yeah. Holmes' cousins, Tristan, too. He can hop from outside and win a game by himself. Brian Webb couldn't get that long shot to go down. Cody Johnson comes out of there and gets it to DJ. CJ and DJ. DJ gets it back to it, and Cody finishes.
Really,
make a thing go right there.
I really wasn't expecting this close of a game after that 10-point jump out at the beginning for Pacific Northwest.
Well, the advantage that Midwest does have certainly is their bench is deeper, arguably.
Ooh.
Particularly here with Brian Webb, who couldn't get that to go. Nice drive.
Not over the 7-footer.
I don't know.
Ooh!
On this end, Thunder dunk on this end. 5-point lead.
Oh, what?
Brian Webb. This is what I talk about with Brian Webb. Like, how did he get down there? 6'2". How did he make that shot work? But he just does. He's wily. He's slippery. He's the kind of player I think you'd love to have him on your team, and you probably hate him.
He's a snake. He's a snake.
Nice dish. Solid finish. What was a 5-point lead, back down to 1. Coming up on the 30-second mark here, third quarter. Oh, nice drive, DJ Childs.
This is why you just can't count Midwest out. Every time they get Pacific Northwest gets a nice lead. Ooh.
Wow. Brian Webb is also averaging 2.4 assists a game. He actually second on the team. Had Lorenzo Robinson's 5.2. Pretty pass there. Jumper won't go, but Cody
Good
Johnson
offensive
able to
rebound.
rebound it.
I would hold for the last shot, but they're not going to. I wouldn't either with the wide open, but
The pointer won't go, however. Desperation heave coming up here from Webb. And he strikes the backboard, but nothing more than that. Bounces harmlessly away. 8 minutes left in a 1-point game to decide our final round 3 participant.
Piano on the track. Piano on the track. Piano on the track.
Minutes away from one of these teams punching their ticket. Come back on this court on Monday.
oh, good move by Child.
Great move by
Picking up
Childs.
where he left off.
18 points now for DJ. 10 of them came in that third quarter alone.
That's
Been playing
two
well.
whole hands of fingers.
And Brian Webb looking for the answer and can't get it to go. The other way comes Pacific Northwest.
Do not put the answer and Brian Webb in the same breath. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice drive, but no result. Jabbar Wilson rips the rebound.
I'd like to see the big man be a little more aggressive. Jabbar Wilson should not have walked away with that defensive rebound.
Richie Nelson has it now. Shot clock winding down, however. Nelson gets him back, and he's going to try a three.
Nope.
Won't go.
That check bounced.
Nice pass.
Got
But
him.
the finish wasn't there.
Eesh.
Webb gets a rebound, and he drives. Yep.
He is-
Oh,
Webb. Oh, good offensive rebound.
that is going to send Midwest to the line. First foul on Falcone.
Is Webb
thought for
feeling
sure
himself,
Brian
or is
Webb.
he feeling
I
himself? Yeah, go ahead.
I thought for sure Brian Webb was going to drain that jumper. He's fairly automatic on those little mid-range pull-ups.
Yeah, he is. He's feeling himself tonight. He is. I feel like he's the only one taking shots down there.
Meanwhile, for Pacific Northwest, a narrow 3-point lead, mostly thanks to the efforts of DJ Childs. 9 for 12 from the field so far. 18 points, almost on his average of 19.6. Lorenzo Robinson about to come back in the game, replacing Scoochie Nelson.
This is
Robinson,
another.
senior point guard out of Lincoln, Nebraska, is the 23rd ranked player in the senior class, 14.4 points and 5.2 assists per game. Fairly quiet night. Lorenzo standard so far, but 6.5 important minutes to play. Oof.
Good hard.
Robinson
foul.
picks up a foul. That was an aggressive move there.
Make him pay.
Gonna send DJ Childs to the line.
You know, this has just been. It's been one of those days where it just these games can go either way, and obviously it's only a 1-point game right now. Hey, man, I just can't take it.
76% free throw shooter, DJ. Lands that one. Some subs getting ready to come in for Midwest. Watkins, starting small forward for this team, 6'4" senior out of Madison, re-enters. Webb still in the game for Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know. Has he come out since the first quarter? I don't think.
No, he didn't start. He didn't actually start the second half, so he quickly was reinserted. But
couldn't have been reinserted fast enough, but at the same time, I don't know. He's taken some. He's taken some. I mean, he's taken some good looks, but hasn't been able to hit.
He's almost the living definition of the term volume shooter. He's valuable, but he has to get his shots up, and he could be that. Brian Webb, just 27%, and I got the crowd excited here too. Rain that one. High ball game again. Evan Falcone has it. And still has it.
Yeah, it's gonna get. Needs to do something. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Holds it. He's going to take a jumper. Why not?
Was that 24 full seconds of Kevin Falcone? Because I think it was.
That's also the name of an indie band, I believe. That bucket goes down there for Brian Webb. Flexes after that shot. 5 straight points for him and 19 on the night. More importantly, 2-point lead for Midwest now. Falcone gets the ball again. This time.
Wow.
Foster has it taken away underneath.
Oh, what a dunk.
Kick to 4-point lead. Vin Hayes does not like what he's seeing on the court right now for Pacific Northwest. Timeout. 5:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Another good game on Freaky Friday. SimWorld TV, folks. It has been happening here.
I'm not sure what what do you want a game where you know it's going to happen, or do you want to be surprised? Because that's what is happening today.
Well, I suppose our best finish of the day so far was Los Angeles coming up a little bit short. Galen Snow electing to pass off instead of taking the final shot himself, giving it to an open Jason Tada. Just couldn't quite connect. Allowing Charlotte to advance. That was our most dramatic finish so far, but just 4 points separating this one, and maybe Yells has some good intel from one of the benches for us. Ron Yell, what do you got?
Talking to Coach J6, and he said, hey, we don't have to force anything, guys. Just play our game. We know that it's going to open up, and the right guys will get the right shots. Really calm demeanor J6 has. I haven't seen him riled up over there. He was smooth as a baby's bottom over there. Told his guys just keep playing through the motions.
J6 and Midwest have a 4-point lead. Make it 6, folks. Once again, Brian Webb, not where you expect to find him getting the ball. Gets it down low, right on the block. Turns and scores.
Childs going in.
Easy move there from DJ Childs. This is going to be an old school reference. There's a chance that my producer Ron Yell might get it. Bob, I don't know with you, but my comp...
I probably wasn't born yet.
Yo, there's no doubt. But my comp for Brian Webb, now that I'm thinking about it, is a slightly shorter version of Damon Bailey, Indiana high school basketball legend, who then blew his knees out in college. Damon Bailey. It was sort of a similar, about 6'3" size, and just Could score in all kinds of ways you didn't see coming. Played inches taller than it seemed like he was or was jumping. Bringing Roniel back in here. Roniel, do you have Damon Bailey memories?
No
Does that mean
clue.
anything to you?
No clue who Damon Bailey is. I don't know how old you think I am, Eric. But look, hey, I have a comp for
SimWorld, hold
Brian
on.
Webb.
SimWorld Discord. Just know you have a Wikipedia entry coming from Ulavis.
We're looking forward.
Who David Bailey is, but yes, big three there. But go ahead, Rodney.
We're looking forward to it. I've thought Brian Webb is this guy since the first time we saw him explode. Does the name Sarunas Marcelonis ring a bell?
Sure. Yes, Lithuanian great. Fantastic Lithuanian basketball player. Came over, spent more than a few seasons in the NBA.
He'd be at the rim, and people would wonder how he got there. Brute strength. He was pretty crafty. He did a lot of things that remind me of Brian Webb as far as how he gets to the basket. One of the other stories people heard later down the lines, they said he must not have taken baths between games, so that may have had something to do. I'm being totally honest. This is a story that came out, so that may have been a reason that he had a little more of a perimeter around him when he got to the basket.
Hey,
not saying that's the case with Brian Webb at all.
I get it.
I mean, people do some crazy things to get an advantage, and if you don't want to be up on, you don't want to be up on it. You don't want it on you. You don't want to catch it.
This is true.
2-point game here.
I have played, Bob. Just for Bob's reference, I played a game where I love playing defense, and a guy kept trying to post me up. I smelled like him when I went home. I showered, and I still smelled like him. So I get it. Back to you guys.
It's off of me.
Well, back to game action. Midwest. Here comes Webb again. He likes it. Doesn't get that one to drop, however. Pacific Northwest. Oh, this could be big. Benjamin Nicholson just has not been getting his shot to drop tonight. Another little jumper for Webb, and this one comes in and out. Second chance opportunity.
That's rebound. I mean, if I'm Pacific Northwest, the only person, if DJ Childs and Cody Johnson aren't taking the shot, then something's wrong. It has to be them. Nobody else should touch the ball for the final 2:46.
Getting some boos from the crowd there.
They must have heard me.
Juwan Jenkins has it. He's attacking from Midwest, but he gets it slapped back in his face. But second chance opportunity once again. Shia Winterton, but this time Cody Johnson steps up.
Good pass, catch shot.
Benjamin Nicholson, Benjamin Nicholson has had a rough night tonight. He is a good shooter too, 44% three-point shooter. Neither team able. Lit on both rims right now. Benjamin Nicholson will not stop shooting.
He said, I'm going to shoot until I get out of this slump. This is not the time, son.
Unbelievable. It's kind of a frantic and disjointed minute or so of basketball here. And Brian Webb, the best look we've seen either team get in a little while.
When's the last time somebody scored? 0 points in the last 0 minutes. I hear you there.
The Clinton administration? I don't know. That's how you break the seal on a rim. Two-handed, throw that ball forward. And give your team a 4-point lead. 1:35 to go. Pacific Northwest up by 4. Loads of time left, however. This thing by no means over.
You know,
while we have a quick timeout here, Bob, I want to ask, you just called that last game, that New York game with Rick Blaze. Did he call that game over prematurely at any point? He likes to do that.
I think the entire but I think the entire world probably picked that game to be over beforehand.
Right, before the tip-off, I understand that. 3 on the way from Jabbar. Midwest, real offensive route.
Picked the absolute worst time to do it, too.
I mean, it is papered over a lot of missed shots by Benjamin. Here comes CJ again. He gets a tough basket to go. Donald Effetti still on the bench as well for Midwest, and time running out. We're coming up on a minute to play here, and they're down by 6. Granted, Fetty's been quiet, but that's an odd decision by Midwest coach J6. Here comes Jabard. He splashes
big
along,
three.
too.
You know, sometimes coaches don't care what type of game it is. If a kid does something that they don't like, man, find yourself on the bench. Oh, big three by Charles.
Through the
No.
three, and that takes a 7-point lead with 41 seconds remaining. EJ Childs. Oh, and a turnover. CJ has it. You got to foul here if you have any ambition. Maybe just call it
no
off the
point.
dogs.
No point. DJ Childs isn't giving up though.
The three on the way. That won't go.
Oh, that's
DJ gets the rebound. He wants two more.
he's padding his stats. They're trying to pad their stats now. What is that three? Oh.
The score is not going to reflect how close this game was. This was a battle well under 1 minute to play. Close game all the way is going to end up a comfortable Pacific Northwest victory, but that's going to do it there, folks. DJ Childs and the defense of Pacific Northwest have gotten them to advance to round 3 on Monday. We hope we're going to see you there. For Big Bob, for Ron Yell, for all of us at SimWorld Sports, thanks for being here today. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday.